Hello, my friend. Alicia Lynn Diaz here. Welcome to the Trauma Informed Ayurveda Series, where you will learn different methods of healing trauma and restoring wholeness through the lens of Ayurveda. So you can be free of past pain and really just come into a feeling of safety and wholeness in your body and as well as your mind. So in today's video, I want to share a little bit about how when you eat, the timing of your eating actually impacts trauma healing and emotional regulation. So this is such an overlooked component of trauma healing, is that if you were just to simply use the analogy of a parent and a child, or like you can consider this yourself as the mature parent of your inner child that you're caring for. And oftentimes it's our inner child or an earlier part of ourselves that was hurt that is the part of us that needs tending. And so, just like a parent and a child relationship, we need to feed that child regularly. When the child is hungry, respond, give it nourishing, give them nourishing foods, and so on. Things that you know are going to be healthy and vitalizing to that child. So in the same way, this is foundation for us healing our inner children, inner child self, healing parts of ourselves, parts of our psyche that have been fragmented and stuck and frozen in the past due to traumatic experiences. This is from a physiological level. Simply the stabilization of blood sugar equals the stabilization of neurotransmitters, equals the stabilization of moods, equals the stabilization of mind. Stabilization of mind supports stabilization of body. Stabilization of body supports stabilization of mind. And so this is all part of the very important foundation of laying a foundation of safety in the nervous system, so that whatever is under the surface for you that needs to be reprocessed, that needs to be felt or reprocessed out, cleared out of the system, or ideally like cleansed out of the tissues in whatever way that it might be manifesting and stuck in your system, creating a hypervigilance to the world around you, creating a hypersensitivity to the world around you, creating insomnia or brain fog, or creating some kind of complex pain or chronic disease situation, autoimmune diseases, all kinds of health imbalances are actually resulting and contributed to by the emotions that are stored in our tissues. Ayurveda sees the physical body as a crystallization of mind. I'll say that once more. Ayurveda views the physical body as the crystallization of the mind, particularly the subconscious mind. So, subconscious mind crystallized, becomes more dense, is the physical body. And so when our physical body starts talking to us through pain, through discomfort, through illness, through symptoms, through other signs of disease, it is always going to be connected to some kind of emotional cause. Now, emotions aren't the only cause of illness. It's connected to physical at that point. And so everything needs to be addressed on all levels. But they do play an intricate role, and usually the emotional aspect is not looked at, or the emotional aspect is treated in one quadrant over here through talk therapy or psychotherapy, and then the physical health component is treated over here by another kind of myopic viewpoint through a practitioner, a doctor, healthcare practitioner. But the two rarely bridge. Now, Ayurveda provides us an integrated bridge of all these things. So it's not just mind alone, or some part of the mind, the conscious part of the mind alone. It's not just, or even the subconscious, it's not just the physical body alone. It's how do we transform and heal back into wholeness the whole being, because you are a whole being made up of many, many different complex, rich, beautiful layers of yourself. And so you cannot be looked at in the vacuum of your life. So no health condition can be accessed in a vacuum without the context of the whole life. I talk to so many clients every day, and so many of them say, when we trace back, where was the origin of the chronic illness you're dealing with? It came at, sometimes it comes after a huge life stress at some point in their timeline, or they trace it back to like, oh, I've always felt this sick, or I've always had these symptoms like ever since I was a kid. And then things progress and progress, and decades later there's a different diagnosis, some kind of diagnosis. So these aspects of ourselves can absolutely be healed back into the wholeness that we truly are. And one of those methods is through this very simple perspective that I'm offering today, which is when you eat. Now, I just want you to understand that when you eat is one little piece inside of this big puzzle, right? But it's still vitally important, vitally important. So when you eat, connects with nature. It connects with the rhythms of the sun. So in fact, every single day that the sun rises, comes to the highest point in the sky from where you live at high noon, and then it sets at night, the cycle and rhythm of that sun dictates how you digest and when different digestive enzymes are released into your gut. And it supports peristalsis, it supports the whole metabolism of everything that you take into your body. Now, you're digesting not only the food you put into your mouth and chew and swallow, you're also digesting all of your sensory perceptions, everything you see, taste, touch, and hear and smell, everything you feel on your skin. You're also constantly digesting every thought, the tens of thousands of thoughts that go through the mind a day, and you're processing past memories and emotions and feelings about those memories. We're also fabricating with our imagination constantly. The mind is fabricating stories and fake conversations with people, or different roles, like role playing in all kinds of different scenarios, and it's constantly engaged in that. And so we're digesting all of that. So understand that your digestion plays a role also within this whole body, mind, spirit complex. But simply coming back to the when, now the timing of your meals and when you eat is one of the things that allows you to sync up with this wisdom and intelligence of nature that you're a part of. The brilliance and the expansive intelligence of all of creation lives inside your body, inside your every cell. And the intelligence that's in every cell, because you are microcosm to the macrocosm, you can harness the power of the macrocosm to support the microcosm of your own being. And when you align the microcosm of your being with the macrocosm, it's just like catching a wave. You use a little bit of energy to paddle out to the crest of the wave, and you have to know how to turn your metaphorical surfboard and catch that wave, and then you ride the wave back in, versus trying to get into a river and just swim upstream the entire time, right? Like, how much more energy does it take to do that? Swim upstream or catch the wave of health? Now, this timing of meals and when you eat allows your whole being to catch this wave and ride it in, which creates, as you can imagine, much more calm and serenity in the whole nervous system. And that, my friends, is what is required to help rewire the triggers of the nervous system so you feel more resilient, so you don't feel so bombarded and overwhelmed by the world around you, right? So, when to eat. So now what? What do we do with this information? So we understand that the sun rises, and with the daylight connecting with our eyes, it starts to send a signal to our brain, to our stomach, to our gut to release certain acids and enzymes in certain order to help you digest your food and give you energy and bring sugars into your bloodstream so that your hormones are balanced and so that your emotions and mood stay fairly regulated, or at least create some kind of baseline for that inner child to just be like, okay, I can relax into your care. We're building self-trust with our body. I can relax into your care. And, because I know I'm going to be fed regularly, and I know I'm not going to be overfed, and I know I'm not going to be underfed. So the timing of the meals from an Ayurvedic perspective, and why this is so important in trauma healing, is simple. You eat within an hour, eat something light and warm, and I'll give you some examples, within an hour or two after you wake up, at least by 2 hours after you wake, and then 4 to 6 hours later, you have a good meal. In previous videos, I go into more detail on what that meal could be, but then another 4 to 6 hours later, you have another meal, like a dinner meal. And ideally, those things will happen during daylight hours, because when it's dark outside, you don't have the ability to digest. During the daytime, your Agni, or your digestive fire, you're the fire of your body, goes outward. Energy moves outward, and you digest things outside of you. You are awake, alert, you are doing things in the outer world. When the sun sets, your energy goes inward. So it moves in and down, and your digestive fire, or your metabolism, is actually trying to cleanse and purify. So your liver turns on and it tries to cleanse you while you're sleeping. So when you eat, makes a big difference. Eating consistently, even if all you did was eat one good, solid, warm lunch every day around 12 or 1 o'clock. That would be something that your body can look forward to and trust and fall into some stability with. And then if you had some kind of breakfast and dinner too, bonus points. But at least you know you're going to get one wholesome meal a day. How else can you apply this? So how do we take this concept of when and timing and make it practical? Well, I gave you the map based on your sleep and wake cycle, but say your sleep and wake cycle is around 10 p.m. and then you wake up at 6 or 7 a.m. You get a good long night's sleep, and then you wake up at, say, 6, and then by 8 a.m. you eat breakfast. By noon you have a lunch, and then by 6 p.m. you have dinner, 5 or 6 p.m. And that, depending on the time of year, might fluctuate with the daylight and days being long and short, but this is one way to approach it. Now, I wouldn't recommend you try to change everything at once, but simply start to look at and understand when I eat, it makes a difference in my emotions, my mood regulation, and the trust that my inner child or inner self has towards me. And I want to give my body or that inner child the stability of timing of meals, or you always have snacks with you or something, so you know that when I'm hungry, I can eat, or I'm not eating when I'm not hungry, right? So you just start to play with the timing for yourself and use some of the suggestions I gave as a jumping off point to what's one thing that you can do right now in the timing of meals to help support your blood sugar regulation and your therefore your neurotransmitter regulation, therefore your mood regulation and emotional regulation. How can I create safety in my body now around the timing of my meals? This is the question you can be asking yourself. So I would love to hear from you. When do you usually eat your meals during the day? And what's one tip you're taking away from this video? Please comment in the comments below and let me know. And did you like this video? Do you like this topic? If so, please give it a thumbs up. A like and a subscribe to this channel would be wonderful so we can stay in touch and I can keep sharing more trauma-informed Ayurveda topics with you. It would also be super amazing if you would share this video with your friends. And if you want even more resources to heal trauma and restore wholeness through Ayurveda, plus some personal insights from me that I only talk about via email, please come over to alicialyndiaz.com and make sure you sign up for email updates and we can stay in touch. So sending you lots of love, and please remember, you are not alone. Keep going, keep growing, keep healing. The wisdom of all of nature lies within you, and it has the power to heal us all back into wholeness. Thank you so much for watching. All glories and all gratitude to Ayurveda and to my wise teachers that have taught me this beautiful science that has helped me and so many others heal. I will see you in the next video of the Trauma-Informed Ayurveda series. I'll sing a little prayer and sign off. All my love to you. Blessings. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.